Welcome back. We have just started working at the New York Daily Register News Tribune. Yes, I actually remembered all of that. And we've been given a burglary to investigate, which apparently this guy was investigating before, so we should probably talk to him. Also, he's the only person in this room who was nice to us, so we should talk to him because of that too.
I hope I'm not intruding. I mean, if you were working on the burglary story.
Miss Bow, please, it is not a problem. Yes, I'd started work on the story, but it's not your fault that it's been reassigned. That's just something I'll have to take up with Sam.
Thank you, Mr. Rube.
It is kind of weird that such a big story would get assigned to a brand new reporter, unless, of course, they don't think much of a museum burglary. Maybe they don't think it's important.
It must be so thrilling to see your byline on a story.
I rarely get a byline on my obituaries. I seem to be pigeonholed on the obit page.
That would suck.
It must be
Alright, I guess he doesn't have any other small talk, but we can interrogate him. And like I said, we use the notebook for that. It comes up automatically. Kind of works like the conversation interface from Gabriel Knight, except it is much, much, much worse. For several reasons. The main one is that clicking on something does not do anything. You have to click on something, then use the exit icon, easiest to get to by right-clicking, to exit, and then you will ask about it.
What can you tell me about Sam?
He's a perfectionist. I badmouth him now and then, but, well, he's given me plenty of breaks, so I owe him a few.
And then it does not go back to the notebook. So you have to do that every time. Doesn't go back to the page you were on either. So, yeah, it gets very annoying because at certain places in this game you have to do a lot of this interrogating. You get good at it, though, at going through this quickly. Anyway, we can ask him about, everything. Let's actually ask him about the burglary first. I think that would make the most sense. That's what we want to know about the most, and most of those other names Laura doesn't know yet. We have seen a few of them in the introduction, but I don't think she was privy to that.
Were you able to get any leads at all about the burglary at the museum?
No, hadn't been working on the story very long. I went to see Detective O'Reilly down at the police station, but he was pretty tight-lipped. I was planning on talking to Ziggy down at the speakeasy. He's a stoolie, usually good for a tidbit or two.
Any other leads I can follow up on?
With due respect, ma'am, it's going to be your byline on the story, not mine.
Point taken, Mr. Crodfoller. Rube.
That is fair enough, I guess. Let's also actually ask him about the museum before we talk about anything else.
Is there anything I should know about the Dagger Museum?
Yeah, I went down there. I did get that far in the investigation, at least. I met the museum's president, a stodgy old croaker named Archibald Carrington III. Cagey guy, didn't seem overly concerned about the dagger. You might see if you can get a little bit more out of him. I also spoke with a Pippin Carter. Nasty little squirt. He acts like the world owes him a living. Apparently, he's the one who's originally discovered the dagger in Egypt, along with some of the other junk in the exhibit. Now, he was hot about the dagger. Took the whole thing like it was a personal stab at him. No pun intended.
All right, now we're getting somewhere. Let's ask about some of these people. We have Dr. Pippin Carter, And we see that actually a name just has been added here. That's because Ziggy was just mentioned when we asked him about the burglary. But let's just go in order.
What can you tell me about this Pippin Carter character?
A queer bird, if ever I've met one. Kind of comes across as cultured, yet he's a loudmouth, you know what I mean? He's got a chip on his shoulder the size of the Brooklyn Bridge. He'll try to cut you down, just shake it off. That's what I had to do.
That does seem to match what little we saw of him in the introduction. I'm trying to talk to myself here.
You ask yourself if you can handle the task set before you, then demonstrate your characteristic pluck by resolving to do your best.
Oh.
You ask...
Can I talk to myself like this?
You remind yourself of the principles of investigative journalism: research, observation, diligence, and clarity.
Good advice. I guess our dad isn't around as a force ghost to give us advice, because we actually saw him for real in this game. What happens with the other icons?
You straighten out your dress. Appearances count.
Alright. Let's get back to what we were actually doing, talking to this guy. How about Dr. Carrington, the museum's president? He can't have been working there very long if he came off that boat. Or maybe he was on vacation or something, I don't know.
What should I know about Archibald Carrington?
Carrington hasn't been in the States long. He's from England, but somehow he doesn't quite come off on the level. Call me stupid, but I just think the guy should be more concerned about museum property vanishing. His first month on the job, too.
Alright, so he is new. Makes sense, I guess. How about the detective who is in charge of the case?
Have you dealt with Detective O'Reilly?
I know he's assigned to the case. I didn't get anything out of him. Maybe you'll have better luck being a lady and all.
I guess that would be an advantage in some cases, in this particular line of work, especially in this particular time. Can we ask him about himself? Maybe why his parents were so cruel as to call him Crodfoller?
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Rhubarb.
What's to tell? I'm a reporter for this paper, probably since before you were born.
But I want to know about the real Crodfoller T. Rhubarb.
You mean there's another Crodfoller T. Rhubarb? No two sets of parents could be that cruel.
That's okay, Mr. Crodfoller. You don't have to tell me about yourself if you don't want to.
Rube.
Who are you calling a... Oh, Rube's your nickname, isn't it? Sorry, I forgot.
I guess that is better than being called Crodfoller. He doesn't look that old, actually. Wasn't Laura 20 in the first game, I seem to recall, which would make her 22 in this one. Not entirely sure about that. I guess he's older than he looks. I can ask him about Low Fat, who apparently runs a laundry, so can't be that important. His name was already in here, though, which is weird. Like, if this was added after we got that card with his name on it, fine, but it was already in here, so why did Crodfoller put this name in there if it's not related to the burglary? Maybe it is somehow.
Tell me about Low Fat.
The old laundry guy? What's to tell?
Maybe he just put the name in there as a reminder to himself to go have his laundry done. Does Rube know anything about our dad? Doubt it, but maybe.
Have you heard the name John Bow?
Don't think so. He a relative of yours?
He's my father.
Oh, Sam's friend. Never met him, I'm afraid.
Nope, I guess not. Makes sense since he did get our name wrong. When he first met us, he called us Laura Baines. Obviously a reference to Police Quest there. And finally there's this Ziggy, apparently a stoolie, as he called it.
Who is Ziggy?
He's what we politely call a stool pigeon. Basically, the guy squeals for cash. Amazing that the guy hasn't had his neck broken by now.
Alright. Nothing too concrete about him, though. I guess we'll just have to go talk to him and see if he's heard anything about this burglary. Wait, wasn't there also a murder in the introduction? I guess nobody knows about that yet. Can ask him about some places. We already did the museum, of course. But there's lots of other stuff here, too, including our paper, the Tribune.
Is there anything I should know about working here at the New York Daily Register News Tribune?
Well, first of all, we call it the Trib. No need to use the whole name. I don't think anyone in New York even remembers the whole shebang. Second, don't worry about Sam. He's gruff and loud, but he's really a cream puff. Don't let him push you around. Lastly, don't get too attached to any one assignment. You never know when it'll be yanked away from you and given to some less experienced reporter with no qualifications except an in with the boss.
Ahem.
Sorry, didn't mean to get peevish.
But other than that, he's not bitter. How about the police station? Maybe you can tell us where it is, for one thing.
Anything I should know about the police station?
Well, it's usually a good source of information. It's standard procedure to check there at some point in any investigation. Sometimes they just blow smoke at you, hand you the commissioner's party line. But once in a while they'll give you something you can actually use.
Alright, well, we'll be sure to check it out. How about this laundry place?
What can you tell me about low fats?
It's a place to take your laundry. That's about it, as far as I know.
It gets kind of weird that you can literally ask everybody in the game about this place. How about the docks? I guess that's where the ship arrived, which would have carried not just Dr. Pip and Carter, but also the exhibits for the museum.
Give me the lowdown on the 12th Street docks.
Lowdown? You've been reading too much pulp fiction. The docks are the docks. Keep away from them unless you have business there.
Well, we might have business there, since it might be helpful to see if anybody there saw anything suspicious when the ship arrived. Nope, I'm at places. I did the museum, so let's just ask about New York. We don't have to ask people about New Orleans, because that's where we're from.
Any advice for somebody who's brand new to the city?
Well, keep your eyes off the tall buildings. That's how muggers spot you. Don't leave your luggage alone for a moment, or somebody will walk off with it. And if you travel anywhere, be sure to put some money in your shoe, just in case.
Yep, and you were told before you got here, Laura. Guess you shouldn't have been so naive. How about this speakeasy he mentioned? Actually, if you don't ask him about the burglary first, this will, I think, say flower shop instead of speakeasy, and it will become clear why in just a second.
Where can I find this speakeasy?
Just ask any cab driver. They'll take you there. It's the place disguised as a flower shop.
Yep, if you haven't asked him about the burglary yet, you can ask him about the flower shop, which he will then tell you is a speakeasy. And then the description in here also changes. Things you can ask everybody about everything you're carrying, which does get ridiculous at some point. Like, why would we ask him about a baseball? But a lot of times the descriptions or the answers you get are kind of funny, so I will do it anyway.
What should I do with this notebook?
You're a reporter, for heaven's sake. Surely you know to take notes.
But why does it have all these notes already in it?
Because that was my notebook, and I was taking notes in it for the burglary investigation. It's your notebook now, and I don't care to discuss it anymore.
Yeah, that was kind of a dumb question, because A, didn't you study journalism at university? So you should know what to do with a notebook, and B, Sam told us that this was Rube's notebook. So you already knew that. I legitimately do want to ask him about this press pass, aka laundry at we found.
What is this?
I'm not sure. Hand it to me and I'll take a closer look at it.
Okay, I guess we actually have to show it to him, which is pretty rare.
Oh, this is what we call a press pass. Very useful. We ran out of official press passes. This is a business card for low fats, but if you wave it in front of a cabbie, he'll take you where you want to go.
Okay, I guess it does substitute as a press pass. Guess nobody looks at it too closely. Maybe Rube can at least tell us who this baseball belonged to and how it ended up in the trash here.
I found this baseball in the trash. What should I do with it?
Keep it, I guess, or give it away. The sports writer who sat at your desk only had about 50 souvenir baseballs.
I guess that explains it. We can ask him about the current year, 1926.
I have a feeling 1926 is going to be a great year, don't you?
Yeah? You ever try writing obituaries for a living? Hardly a jolly way to spend the year.
I guess that's true. Asked him about the burglary, but we can also ask about Egyptology, the last thing on our list. Somehow I doubt he'll know much about that.
Any wisdom you'd care to pass along about Egyptology?
You've already proven to me you know as much about Egyptology as I do. Maybe more. I bow to your superior knowledge, Miss Bow.
Thank you, sir.
Literally all we did was mention the word. I guess he really doesn't know anything about it. Well, I guess that's it for the newsroom. Can we go back here?
You can feel the tension in the city newsroom of the New York Daily Register News Tribune.
I guess not. Game doesn't even acknowledge that those are doors. Can we clean the windows?
Don't touch it. You don't know where it's been.
I guess not. Why would we want to anyway? What's on the desk back here?
This is it's a
Nothing we can take a look at, unfortunately. Why does he get a typewriter and we don't, by the way? Well, I guess we're not actually writing the article yet. The sounds in the background here, by the way, are one of the main places where you can notice the difference between using the Roland MT32 and the built-in General MIDI support. If I were to use General MIDI with my sound canvas, which I've used for other games, then I would get nice sounding music, but the background sounds here would be entirely absent. They only show up with the MT32. Anyway, well, it's been quite a while, so finally time to leave this room and go and explore the Big Apple and hopefully not get mugged anymore.
The imposing Gothic entrance to the world-famous New York Daily Register News Tribune.
She just keeps saying the whole name, which is funny.
Busy New Yorkers on their way to work, ignoring everyone else as they concentrate on putting one foot in front of the other.
Yes, I guess so.
It's the world-famous Product Design Building.
Product Design Building?
It's the New York home for the mentally bewildered.
Mentally bewildered. Not mentally ill, bewildered. Important distinction. What are these things in the front? They look like mushrooms.
The New York...
No way of finding out, I guess.
The corner of 75th Street and Madison Avenue, New York City, home of the world-famous New York Daily Register News Tribune Building, among other things.
Is there anything here that is not world famous? Just checking.
It's a car.
Indeed it is. Probably a cab, judging by the color.
The corner of...
Okay, the parked car does not warrant a description. How about this one?
The corner of... There are no cars coming from this
I was
direction.
trying to look at the lamppost, but I guess what Laura actually did was look down the street. And that's actually a good point, because you kind of need to do that. You can actually see what is on the other side of the street too.
Crossing the street here will lead you to the police station.
Well, that's convenient. That sounds like a good place to start our investigation. There's a taxi sign here, but I guess we don't need to use it to get to the police station.
A sign with the word taxi printed on it. This could have numerous meanings. However, since it does not look like a taxi itself, it probably just means that taxis will stop here if summoned.
It probably does, and you can use a taxi, and we don't have any money, but according to what Rube said, we can use our press pass as a substitute. That's convenient. You can, in fact, use the taxi to get to the police station, despite the fact that it is on the opposite side of the street. I wonder what they think of that if you tell them that, but you can also just cross the street. However, this wouldn't be a Sierra game if I didn't need a save game called Death. Let's try and cross the street. If you don't look both ways, you'll be dead in no time flat. Yep. First death, we've got it in. Not in the first screen this time, but the second one, so we're still doing good for a Sierra game. Yeah. Also, it's not just enough that we got run over. Apparently it was a hidden run too. Alright. Let's try that again. We already saw the solution to this kind of by accident. You can look both ways before crossing the street.
There are no cars coming from this direction. There are no cars coming from this direction.
And now we can safely cross the street. Now you might wonder, do we need to do that every time? And if you're wondering that, you've obviously never played a Sierra game before. Of course you have to do that every time. Alright, the police station.
Unless the sign is lying to you, this is the police station.
Well, I don't think the sign is lying to me, so it probably is the police station.
The police department exterior.
It's number 14, I guess.
A proud stone lion with a lamp on his head. The fact that he's looking east may indicate that he looks forward to the sunrise each day. Or maybe not.
Or maybe it's just because he's on that side of the door, and that just happens to have him facing east. That sounds more likely to me.
A proud stone lion with a lamp on his head. The fact that he's looking west may indicate that he enjoys watching the colors of the sunset each day. Or maybe not.
Sure. This guy's getting on my nerves.
A man sleeping under a newspaper. Judging by the strong smell of alcohol, you deem it wise not to light a match in his presence.
Well, I wasn't planning on it, so that's good. I don't even have any matches. Can we talk to him? He does seem to be rather fast asleep, so probably not.
He snores in response.
Indeed he does. Literally.
He snores in response.
Wow, they actually had her record 2 different lines for that with different inflections. Can we wake him up?
Excuse me, sir.
Don't bother me, lady. I'm sleeping.
Well, I guess that got him to stop snoring, so that's good. Nice place for a bum to lie, right in front of the police station. I guess that is a safe place. If the police doesn't arrest him anyway. Anyway, I don't think he wants to talk to us, so let's just talk to the police, which would probably be more productive anyway. Alright, the police station.
This is the inside of the police station.
Indeed it is.
This is the in... He must be either a plainclothes detective or a file clerk.
One of the two, I guess. How about this guy? Seems to be the desk sergeant.
Sergeant Dennis O'Flaherty is the desk sergeant on duty today. He's shuffling papers, putting on a good show of looking busy while his mind is elsewhere.
I guess so. Let's talk to him.
Pardon me. I'm looking for some information.
Well, take yourself down to the library then.
Pardon me, Sergeant, but I happen to be a reporter with the Trib.
Oh, well, strike up the barn then. Look, lassie, I've been out with my dogs all day, and I hadn't had my lunch. And I got better things to do than to jaw with some slip of a girl reporter. Go on with you now.
Okay, that's not very helpful. Seems to be common for desk sergeants in adventure games to not be helpful.
Excuse me, but I really need some information.
The desk sergeant ignores you, though his stomach growls impatiently.
Of course. Can we interrogate him anyway?
Look, miss, I'm not in the mood to answer any reporter's questions.
Clearly he is too hungry to talk to us. Great. Anything else we can do?
The door to a private office.
Maybe the person in there wants to talk to us.
You knock politely. You hear the muffled response. Come in.
Sure and begorra, I'm Detective O'Reilly. What would you be wanting then, lass?
I'm Laura Bowe from the New York Daily Register News Tribune. I'm looking into the burglary at the Leyendecker Museum, and I understand you're handling the case. Would it be possible for me to look at your report?
You can't be a reporter, lass. You're a girl. The Trib only hires men.
I am a reporter, sir, and you can check with my editor, Sam Augustini, if you don't believe me.
I thought that Crodfeather guy was going to be writing the robbery article.
Crodfoller was assigned to it, but the story is mine now. Can I see that report, please?
It's very technical, lass. I don't think you'll be learning much from it.
Thank you for your concern, Detective, but I'd like to be the judge of that.
You're a determined girl. I'll say that much for you. Have a look, then.
The file on the Leyendecker Museum burglary is nothing more than a single handwritten page. It mentions only one stolen object. The Dagger of Amon Ra.
Roll credits.
The burglar or burglars left no fingerprints or other clues. Their method of access to the museum is unknown. In summary, the police are baffled about the burglary at the museum at this point. Some parts of the report seem vague. The report is signed by Detective Ryan Hanrahan O'Reilly.
There's only one page to this report. Where's the rest of it?
That's all of it right now.
It's rather vague, isn't it?
Good police work takes time, and I'm a very busy man. I haven't had time to follow up on the burglary. So what if a museum loses a knife? There are people being murdered left and right in this city, dropping like flies. Cars are being stolen, booze is being smuggled into speakeasies. Pedestrians are being mugged, firebugs are burning down half the city, they're running out of grapes at the corner market, and I've got a headache. And you know who gets to investigate all the crimes in this district? Me! So I don't need any nosy reporters hanging around telling me my reports are vague, girlie.
Well, excuse me.
Talk to the desk sergeant if you have any more questions. I haven't got time for you right now.
Well, that could have gone better. I like how all the police are Irish. I think that is kind of period accurate for this time in New York. Well, I guess he doesn't want to answer any questions. And since his report was so vague, he might not have any answers anyway. He told us to talk to the desk sergeant, but he doesn't want to talk, so that's not very helpful. Let's look at this post full of notes.
Wanted by FBI, Al Capone. Approach with caution. Contact FBI for details.
Yeah, let's steer clear of that one.
Tickets to the policeman's ball now available. Contact Officer Friendly. Needed. Volunteer with aeronautic training. Opportunity for co-pilot on first transatlantic flight, Roosevelt Field to Paris, next spring. Contact C. Lindbergh, Hamilton 6656.
Okay, he needs a volunteer for that. And he posted it in the police station here. That seems kind of interesting.
Why wait? There's never been a better time to invest in the stock market. Civil servants qualify for discount brokerage services at H.R. Schwab, Mary Hill 3173. Invest in the future of America today.
I have a piece of advice for you. Don't. 1926 seems like a terrible time.
This support column is also a handy place for posting notices and announcements. Let's be careful out there.
Good advice.
Please remember, as of June 15th, 1924, all Indians are now full citizens of the USA. Please respect their rights and privileges. Thank you.
I will keep that in mind if we see any.
This support column is also a handy...
Aside from his job of keeping the building up, I guess. Alright, well, it looks like we're not getting anything more from here. So let's leave for now. And, oh, hey. Looks like the bum has moved on. Maybe he found a better place to sleep. He left something behind, though.
The paper is full of old news and a valuable coupon. A coupon for a free sandwich from Luigi.
Aha! A free sandwich. Now that would be useful if we want to give any food to the desk sergeant. Or, you know, we could eat it ourselves.
You pick it up and place it in your purse.
They actually animated her doing it.
A newspaper coupon for a free sandwich from Luigi the sandwich vendor.
Alright, well, now all we have to do is find Luigi. Guess we could take a taxi.
A taxi sign.
But, actually, let's go back across the street for now.
There are no cars coming from this direction. There are no cars coming from this direction.
Which, of course, means we need to do that. Or we will die again. Even with that, this place isn't even half as dangerous as that place, as the estate from the Colonel's bequest. What do we have over here? He wasn't here before.
A finely crafted sandwich cart with the name Luigi printed neatly on the side.
Now that's convenient.
A man selling corned beef sandwiches from a cart.
Can we talk to him?
Hot the corned beef. Get you hot corned beef sandwich.
Very.
Is that corned beef lean?
Leaner corned beef. This is the leanest corned beef in the city. Maybe in the country. So lean the cows, she keep on tipping over. You wanna buy a corned beef sandwich, lady? Hot the corned beef. Get you hot corned beef sandwich.
Is that corn?
Leaner.
That's a very convincing Italian accent there. That's not the worst accent we're gonna hear in this game. What? We could actually interrogate him? Wow. Is that actually useful?
I never met the guy. I'm too busy to meet peoples. I gotta sell these sandwiches. Corned beef sandwiches.
Alright. That's not very useful. Does he say that about everyone? Probably.
I never met
He does. How about places? He's standing right in front of the Tribune.
Sorry, lady. Never been there. You want a sandwich or not? Hot corned beef sandwich.
You're right in front of it. Literally, right in front of it. How's his year going?
What do I look like? The answer, man? I don't know about nothing except the corned beef sandwich, which is what I got right here.
Alright, fair enough. Actually, can we ask him about his coupon?
I don't know about it, lady. Just that I got a nice corned beef sandwich here. Fresh, hot corned beef sandwich. You want one or no?
No, I guess we cannot. We can, however, use it to buy a sandwich, I guess. Can we try to get one anyway?
It feels like a finely crafted sandwich cart.
Keep your hands off, lady.
Nope. We don't have any money, so the coupon is our way to go.
I believe I would like a sandwich.
Mamma mia, another coupon. I'm gonna go broke. What a crummy idea I had. That's the last time I advertised in a newspaper. Take your sandwich and get out of here before I change my mind.
Alright.
One of Luigi's famous corned beef sandwiches. It's so fresh that it makes a faint mooing sound when you squeeze it.
That's disgusting.
You pick it up and place it in your purse.
And, oh, apparently I'm not allowed to save here. Yeah, this game, I think it's a bug. It tends to disable the save icon on annoying places. Especially annoying if you're recording. Let's go back across the street.
There are no cars coming from this direction. There are no cars coming from this direction.
Alright, now I can save. Let's see if we can eat the corned beef sandwich.
You think about eating the sandwich, then suddenly change your mind when you remember that you're a vegetarian.
I guess you can't. Even if you could, I don't think it renders the game unwinnable. You just can't question the desk sergeant. Actually, come to think of it, that probably does render the game unwinnable if you could do that, but you can't, so that's kind of nice of Sierra for a change. And we'll see why not talking to the desk sergeant renders the game unwinnable in the next video.